Hello everyone and welcome to another Feed Army video. My name is Emmanuel and today we will talk about how to boost your sales with Google Merchant Center's sale price suggestion. Running a small e-commerce business means juggling many tasks, and pricing your products correctly is one of the toughest things. What if you had a free tool that tells you when a slight discount could dramatically increase your sales? That's precisely what Google Merchant Center Sale Price Suggestion feature offers. In this article, we'll explain this feature, how to access it, and how to use those suggestions to improve product visibility and conversions. We'll also share practical tips and examples so you can confidently optimize your prices and boost your performance without any third-party tools. So let's dive in. What are Google Sale Price Suggestions? Google Merchant Center Sale Price Suggestions is a new built-in feature that analyzes your product's recent performance and market data, and then recommends an optimal sale price to help you attract more customers. In other words, Google is crunching the numbers to suggest how a temporary price drop might impact your ads and sales. This feature uses advanced simulations based on your past week of ad performance and industry trends to identify how price-sensitive shoppers are for each product. It then suggests a sale price, a discount price that could improve your results, though, of course, no outcome is guaranteed. So the key points about sale price suggestions and how they work. Key points about how sale price suggestions work. Data-driven recommendations. Google runs simulations on the last 7 days of your product performance data, combined with industry data from similar businesses. This means the suggestions aren't random, they are rooted in real ad impressions, clicks, and conversion trends. Then we have price sensitivity analysis. The system evaluates how responsive customers have been to your pricing. If your price is a bit high for the market, Google will notice shoppers' behavior and factor that in. And then we have optimized sale price. Using all this data, Google Merchant Center suggests a new price that could maximize your visibility and sales results. Essentially, it's hinting, try selling at X dollar or X pound, we think you'll get a better performance. This feature is free and part of Google Merchant Center, so you don't need expensive pricing software to benefit from this. Consider it as a Google acting as a pricing coach for your shopping ads. So where do you find the sale price suggestions in Google Merchant Center? Finding these suggestions is easy, especially using the latest Merchant Center Next interface. Google has organized a lot of useful information under a new analytics section in Merchant Center, which includes a pricing tab. Here's how you can access your sale price suggestion data. Log into Google Merchant Center and navigate to the analytics section. Then click on products and then pricing. In the pricing tab shows the insights about your product prices. Look for the sale price suggestions. In the pricing section, Google compares your prices to others and flags opportunities. Sale price suggestions may appear as a dedicated card or a column in a report. For example, Merchant Center Pricing Analytics shows if your items are priced higher or lower than your competitors. But it also provides sale price suggestions designed to make you more competitive. In some cases, you might need to click View More Details or scroll to see a list of products with suggested sale prices. If you don't see the suggestions immediately, remember that small accounts or new products might not immediately have suggestions. However, most active products, you should find a list of items where Google shows a recommended sale price next to your current price. And here's a tip, the suggestions updates regularly, weekly based on the last 7 days of data. Make it a habit to check the sections periodically. It's like checking your pricing inbox for free advice from Google on how to boost your sales. So how do we interpret Google's sale price suggestion? When you see a sale price suggestion for a product, what should you do with it? Here's how to read and act on the information. Suggested sale price. This is the price point that Google recommends you sell the item at during a sale. It's usually lower than your current price. Google arrived at this number by analyzing your recent ad performance and comparing your price to similar sellers in the market. We think that $XYZ is a sweet spot that could attract more buyers while still being profitable for you. The predicted impact. Alongside the suggested price, you might see some predicted performance changes. Google's models estimate how specific metrics could change if you applied the suggested price. For example, it may indicate a percentage increase in clicks or conversions you might gain by dropping the price to the suggested amount. These are projections, not promises, but they give you an idea of the potential upside. If you see something like plus 20% impressions predicted, that means Google expects your ad could show up at a lot more often if you use the sale price. Context and rationale. Understand why the suggestion is made. Google's system considers factors like how many other sellers offer the same item, how much demand there is for it, and even an estimated profit margin range for your businesses. If your current price is significantly higher than others, or if lowering the prices slightly could tap into a much more significant customer base, Google will flag that. On the other hand, if you're already very competitive or there is little to gain from a sale, you might not get a suggestion for that product. Importantly, remember that these suggestions are advisory. Google provides them to help you make a data-driven decision, but you should also factor in your business realities. Check your margins. Before you act on a suggestion, ensure the suggested price is still profitable. Google's goal is to maximize gross profit, not just revenue. So suggestions should still leave you with a margin. However, you know your cost best. So double check that you can afford to sell that price, even if it's temporary. Sales versus permanent price drop. The feature concerns sale pricing. It's usually best to treat the suggested price as a temporary promotion rather than permanently slashing your base price. This creates urgency and a sense of deal for the customer, and you can always return to your original price later. Predictions versus reality. Google notes that these predictions are suggestions, don't guarantee future performance. Use them as a guide. They are based on a recent data. If the market changes or if a competitor reacts, results can differ. That said, Google has a lot of data at its disposal, so the suggestions are definitely worth considering seriously. Applying the suggested sale price to your products. Once you've decided a Google suggestion sale price is worth it, it's time to put it in action. And here's how you can apply the changes. Update your product feed or website price. You have two main options to change the price for a sale. One is to change the price on your website, which will flow into Google Merchant Center if your feed updates from your site or e-commerce platform. The other, more robust option is to use the sale price feature in Google Merchant Center product feed. Google allows you to submit a sale price for an item in addition to the regular price. Using the sale price attribute, you can tell Google this item is normally $100, but it's now on sale for $90. This is precisely how you would implement Google suggestions of a lower price for a sale period. Set a sale duration, which is optional but recommended. If you're using a sale price attribute, you can also specify a sale start and a sale end date. It's often a good idea to run the suggested price as a temporary time-limited sale, say for a week or two. This creates urgency for shoppers and also lets you evaluate results over that period. After the sale, the price goes back up automatically. So if you set an end date, you can manually raise it back. This controlled approach is safer for a small business than permanently lowering your price. Ensure that your sale price qualifies for the sales badge. So that's an annotation. Google has some rules for showing a strike-through price and a sale tag on your shopping ads. Typically, the sale price must be lower than the base price. This discount should be at least a certain percentage, for example, more than 5% off. And the product should have been available at the original price recently, so it's a genuine sale, and has a higher price for at least 60 days. If you meet these conditions, Google will display the original price alongside the new sale price in the ad. This creates a visible deal for customers if implemented correctly. The product's listings will show both price, the original price with a strike-through, and then the sale price as the current price. Shoppers will also see a bold sale label immediately signals a bargain. By using the sale price attribute and following Google's guidelines, you're adjusting the price and enhancing how your offer appears to shoppers. Your products will stand out with a special tag, so an annotation, and a comparison between the old and new price, which is very persuasive. Let's look at why it matters for your performance. How sale pricing can improve visibility and conversions. An example of shopping results showing sale price annotations, both a shopping ad left and free listings right display a green sale label. The original price $18 and $30.10 are crossed out next to a discounted price $8 and $26.93. This visual cue makes the discount obvious to shoppers, drawing attention to these products. Running a sale at Google's suggested price can have a powerful impact on your product's visibility and attractiveness. Here's how adjusting your price as a recommended can pay off. Higher ad rank and more impressions. On Google Shopping, price is a factor in ad ranking and visibility. If your price is too high, even a good bid might not secure the top spot because Google's algorithm knows users prefer cheaper options. By lowering your price, you become more competitive. Google has predicted that many products would get significantly more impressions if priced at the suggested sale level. More impressions means your products show up more frequently in shopping results, putting it in front of more potential customers. Eye-catching sale annotations. When you use the sale price as suggested, your shopping ads and free listings gain a visual edge. Google will display a sale badge or annotation and strike through the old price next to your new price. This presentation immediately tells shoppers they're looking at a discounted item. It helps customers compare the two prices and see the savings, which convinces them that your deal is a great bargain. The results? Shoppers are more likely to click on your product. An item with a sale badge tends to have a higher click-through rate than the same item with just a single higher price because everyone loves a deal. Improved conversions. A lower price can reduce friction in the buying decision. If a buyer clicks through and sees a price that's 10% lower than before, that could nudge them into purchasing your item. Google sale price suggestions are aimed at finding a price point that drives more total sales by balancing margin per sale against the number of sales. For example, if you usually sell a gadget for $50 and Google suggests $45, you might lose $5 per unit in margin, but if that changes doubles your sales volume, you come out ahead overall. One small business reported that after adopting Google's suggested sale price on popular items, their product's impressions doubled and conversions increased by a third, ultimately yielding higher weekly revenue than when the item was full price. This scenario shows how strategic discounts can pay off in volume. A competitive advantage. Many big retailers use dynamic pricing tools or run frequent sales in crowded product categories. As a small business, it's hard to keep up with everything manually. Sale price suggestions gives you an automated assistance, leveraging Google's vast market data so you can compete smarter. If all your competitors are a bit cheaper, you might not have realized it until your ads underperform. Now Google is directly telling you a slight price drop could make you more competitive. By acting on it, you can capture shoppers who otherwise would have scrolled past your listing. It's an equalizer for small merchants, leveling the playing field without requiring dedicated analytics or pricing software. Google's automatic solution. You can use a feature to automate this all natively in Shopify using the multi-feeds app. So all you're paying for is the multi-feed app, which we use for all our clients, and Google's free competitive data. In short, Google's sale price suggestions can improve both your listing's visibility and attractiveness. You benefit from Google's insight on shopper behavior for free. Of course, testing these changes is wise, which brings us to our next point. Tips for testing and optimizing your prices with Google's suggestion. Changing prices can feel risky, so here are some practical tips to make most of the sale price suggestions in a controlled and effective way. Start small. You don't have to sell your entire catalog. Pick a few products to experiment with. This limits your risk and lets you learn what works best before scaling up. Use time-limited sales. As mentioned, treat the suggested price as a promotional sale. For example, run the new price for 1 week or 2. This creates urgency for the shoppers and ensures that you're not locked into a lower margin. After the sale period, evaluate the results and decide if and when you want to run it again. Monitor performance closely. While the sale price is running, keep an eye on your key metrics. Did impressions go up as predicted? What about the clicks and conversion rate? Look at Google Ads or Google Merchant Center reports to compare the period before the price change and during the sale. This will confirm if the suggestions delivered the expected boost. It's possible you'll see an uptick in clicks, but maybe a slight lower conversion rate if some people still don't buy, or vice versa. The overall goal is an increase in total sale and profit. Compare revenue and profit. It's easy to get excited about more clicks on orders, but compare net outcomes. Calculate the revenue you earned during the sale versus before and factor in lower price. Did the extra volume offset the lower price point if you sold more units? With a good suggestion, you'll often find you made more money overall with the sale. If not, you can adjust the strategy. Iterate based on results. Use what you've learned. If Google suggested $45 and it worked well, you could try staying at that price longer, or $47 next time to see if the performance holds. If it didn't work as expected, perhaps the product's demands isn't very price sensitive or the competition changed. Keep checking the updated suggestions and try again during a high traffic season or after tweaking your ads. Integrate with your marketing calendar. Plan using sales suggestions around peak periods. For instance, if Black Friday is coming or back to school season is big for you, check the Merchant Center suggestions in advance. Google's data might reveal an optional discount to incorporate into your holiday sale, maximizing your visibility when shoppers are most active. Remember other factors. Pricing is crucial, but don't forget other elements of your shopping ads. Ensure the product titles, images, descriptions are excellent, and that your shipping prices and times are competitive. A sale price can get people in the door, but you want the rest of your experience to close the deal. No third-party tools are needed. Enjoy the fact that this is a free resource. Many large retailers pay for expensive repricing tools or services. As a small business, you have Google's suggestions at your fingertips with no added cost. Make it a routine to use this feature. It's like having a pricing consultant on call for free. By following these tips, you'll use the sale price suggestions not just for a one-off advice, but as part of an ongoing optimization cycle. Test, learn, and refine, the key to steady improvements. If you have any questions about the sales suggestions, feel free to reach out or leave a comment downstairs. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.